It's good to have you with us for this event. It figures to be an exceptional one that doesn't need any buildup.
What's up, guys? Young Bucks, old goats. I'm the goat. I got Hialeah Comic Bro down here. Thanks for coming.
What's up?
We got a guest over here. How do you do this? Bake the Snake.
Hey.
Yo, what's happening? Thanks for having me on the show, man.
Thanks for coming, brother. All the way from, you're in Key Largo in the Keys?
Yep, Key Largo, the first one, Island Boy.
What's the situation over there right now? Can I go to the Keys if I want to, or?
Essentials only for right now. There's, one pending lawsuit that's going on, but basically the plan is to open it up after Memorial Day in June. So they're on point with what everyone says. So it's not a super rush, but I get why people are antsy.
So the earliest the
earliest would probably be the first week of June, but even then it's not a solid thing just yet.
Okay, cool. Guys, I'm missing sports a lot. Like I went through like the first month and I was like, whatever. But now, I just want to read like a box score or something. So like all week, I kind of been paying more attention to sports or whatever sports stories have been coming out, and even documentaries and stuff like I talked to some of you guys about. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of those. Let's start with basketball. Should we start with the Last Dance first, or should we start with any news that we know about the NBA?
We'll touch on all of them, man. Start wherever you want, dude. I think the top on everybody's list is that Last Dance, though, man.
Yeah, especially if you live through it. Everyone's loving it, but if you live through it, it's just nostalgia overload.
Yeah.
You're seeing a whole other side of stuff that you're like, wow, this is what was really going down. They were actually pissed off at each other. Oh, Scotty wasn't getting paid so much. I don't want to get too much into it in case we're going somewhere else first. But, yeah, it's a wild ride. Everyone's enjoying it.
We'll just start with that, man. That show's awesome. How old are you, Bake?
I'm 38.
Okay, so you grew up during that era watching them play. Yeah,
man, I was young. I was probably like middle school, anywhere from 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe 9th grade, starting high school, impressionable, watching this on NBA Inside Stuff after my Saturday morning cartoons. So
hell yeah.
I'm telling you, it kind of is when like the hip hop started evolving with the NBA and with the montages they would do for the opening of NBA stuff and the way they would come on and have the interviews with the players. It was first access that you never really got before. So it was really cool as a kid,
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I think I hated him because he beat every team of mine. Like he crushed the Heat all the time. I support all the local teams. There's a couple other teams I kind of like, but like I really just support other teams. And he just crushed them all the time. But
I remember how big a deal it was when the Heat finally beat the Bulls once. Like the whole city went crazy. Cycli was still on the team.
That was huge.
What's up, 90MF? What's up, Edwin, in the chat?
Yo, 90, what's up? Edwin, what's happening, player?
What's going on?
Yeah, I agree, man. Jordan, his teams, they were just the teams you love to hate. They were kind of like the New York Yankees, how the Patriots were for the longest time. But there was just something about Jordan, his charisma, and just the amazing stuff that he would do, that even though you hated his team winning, you loved to watch him play. Especially that team that they're referencing in this, when they show the 72 team. Up until the Golden State Warriors recently, like they were perfection. It was the team. It was the best team. And I still think they're a better team,
You think they would have taken Golden State?
In 7, maybe. I think it'd be really close. I mean, it's a different type of game. 3-pointers, they'd have to rely more on Kerr.
I wasn't sure, but after watching The Last Dance, man, I think they would take Golden State. Yeah, it might go 7 games. You know, they did go to 7 games in their series. It wasn't like they were freaking just blowing everybody out, and they would. Yeah. They were almost like the Patriots. They would always find a way how to win.
They were a more solid team on defense, I think, than Golden State was. The only thing is Golden State can hit threes from anywhere in the court, pretty much.
Yeah, but I think, man, I can't go against
Jordan, bro. Man. Who's guarding Jordan?
Exactly. Who are you gonna put him? Durant? I mean,
okay.
But even then, I mean, still,
I don't think Durant could guard him, dude.
Not all night.
And I don't think Steph could guard him. I don't think Clay could guard him. They might be putting like Draymond.
They'd end up having Dennis would be tearing up the boards against Iguodala and what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name, man?
Draymond Green.
He would own Draymond. Rodman would own Draymond.
I like Draymond, man. He's not a bad player. He's good, but Dennis was such a good player. He's probably the best power forward to ever play.
I think Rodman would eat him up, man. I don't think it would be
his energy level, and they go in on it too. His energy level, and even in his 30 for 30, his own one, how high of intensity he played for the whole time, and how the amount of rebounds, and how, have that size of an ego and not be a selfish player and not really care if he had the ball. It was just amazing, you know.
Yeah, so unselfish, right? He never cared about it. He just wanted rebounds to stop the defender. And Pippen's another. Pippen would stop Clay. Can you imagine Pippen going against Durant?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be amazing to watch.
What's up, John? Somebody commented that the Bundesliga started back up today, I guess. 90 MF.
What's up, Paul?
What league?
Oh, the soccer.
Oh.
Yeah. The soccer came back. What's up, John? What's up, GOAT?
Dude, that right now you have 30-year-olds walking around that never saw Jordan play, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Retired in like 2000, right? Or something like that. Was it 2001?
Yeah. Where did he go? To Charlotte? Is that where he went to go play? Or Washington? Washington, right?
The Wizards. So, okay, maybe not 30-year-old guys, but maybe like 25-year-old, 26, 27, that they were like 5 when he last played, who you're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
So I think he really wanted to like show everybody what's up, and they picked the perfect time with this pandemic going on to put the thing up. And dude, it's like here you go, LeBron, you know?
Yeah. Well, there was a really great soundbite or interview, I guess. I forget what episode it was, but it was this Kobe Bryant. And after, you know, in light of everything that happened with Kobe, him sitting there and talking about how Jordan was like a father figure. Yeah. He'd ask him about how to do a certain shot. And he's like, wow, he gave me so much more detail than I even thought he would even consider giving me. And then at the end of it, he said, call me anytime you got a question. Yeah. And then to just basically be part of that argument of the 3 best players, Kobe, Jordan, and LeBron, he even just said there would be no Kobe Bryant without Michael Jordan. And it was just kind of a sad, touching, but like endearing moment, you know?
Yeah.
Because me personally, like out of all them, I always felt Kobe was more Jordan-esque than LeBron.
Of course. I'm in total.
Just his style of play, his swag, like the whole thing. Like he just kind of had the same type of game. And even in my opinion, Dwayne Wade was even more Jordan-esque than LeBron. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying typically all-around talent, but just the way he played the game, the way he carried himself, the intensity he brought, you know. Not that LeBron isn't intense. I'm just saying just the way the game played for those players. You know?
Players, they're different type of players.
Yeah, that Mamba mentality is really like a Jordan mentality is what it is. I want the ball. I'm the best. I'm going to do it. You know, you better do what you got to do. You know, like almost like he's the coach, you know. You saw that thing, Jordan's giving out tickets. He was running the show there with amongst the players. Obviously, Phil Jackson's a genius too, you know. But like amongst the players in that locker room, Jordan was the man, dude. Like, nobody challenged him.
Oh yeah, and I loved how they were like he was kind of an ass sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, but that's also like him. This guy's the pinnacle, man, and he's bringing you up. He's telling you, he's holding you accountable. Like he's training you and getting you ready for battle. You know what I mean? Like, so if this guy, he really was the player coach. You know, he would get on you, and to hear about the fights, like how him and Steve Kerr got in a fight and how he popped them, but then how it made them, you know, not necessarily best friends, but it made their relationship better. And Jordan knew he could trust him in the trenches. You know,
Well,
Steve would back down.
I think it was Kerr's reaction to it that caused that. Because if Kerr would have just wilted like a flower, he would have been done, dude. He would have been out of there. It's the way he reacted.
He wound back and punched him in the chest. Well, that's the first thing. I know Jordan's tall, but you never just punch someone in the chest, bro.
No. I think he wanted to show. He didn't want to back down, but he didn't want to go overboard either. At the same time, you know, he knew the pecking order. He knew the pecking.
Yep.
What's up, in the chat? What's up, John?
90 saying that. Dude, I know LeBron and MJ are two different players. I've always said that.
Yeah, exactly. They're just two different styles. Yeah.
LeBron is like a facilitator, man, and I wish sometimes that he would have more of that. Like, I put the team on my back. I'm gonna do it.
But that's not who he is.
It's not who he is. He's almost more like Magic Johnson.
That's exactly who he is. That's exactly who he is.
With better ability, with better athletic ability.
That's what I always tell. Me and 90 always fight about that because I think he's a more athletic Magic Johnson. Not a better Magic Johnson, just a more athletic.
So if you just had to compare styles, that's all. It's not even anything. You're just saying if you had to compare, like,
exactly,
you can see like what style he mimics was more like a Magic.
He's Magic, man.
But hey, man, can I tell you about the real MVP of The Last Dance?
Oh,
Carmen Electra. When she came in, God, she's still so beautiful.
Dude, she's still hot as hell, dude.
God, I love her. She's amazing.
You know what's you touched on it a minute ago. The thing that's really shocking to me is the whole Scottie Pippen and his salary, what he was getting paid, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that was that was so disrespectful. Oh, dude.
There she is. But yeah, Scotty, poor Scotty.
Yeah.
I love her. I was hoping to meet her at MegaCon, but it didn't happen.
She was supposed to be there?
She was there last year, so I figured why not?
Oh, my God.
Dude, you signed a contract, though, you know? What's up, Jonas, brother? You signed a contract, you know? Pippen signed the contract.
Yeah, and when you hear his story on why he signed it and his family situation about his father and his brother both paralyzed or in wheelchairs, I mean, you can't totally blame the guy. I mean, the only thing, he was a young kid at, like, 3 years into college, and you can't completely blame the guy, but geez, dude, it's kind of a dick move not being able to renegotiate. So he was kind of just stuck between a rock and a hard place.
But that's where it pisses me off, dude, because you wouldn't think Chicago. Hey,
why not just take care of him or renegotiate? It's not saying you have to overpay him as a second high, but at least hook the bro up, man.
Exactly, man, dude. It
break
was
him off. Be like, look, bro, we're doing you a favor because what we've done. You should be paid as the number 2 player in the NBA. We're going to pay you as the 10th highest player in the NBA because we still love you, but we have to make some money on this deal. We really don't have to do nothing, but we're trying to be right by you. That's how they should have handled it.
Yeah.
But
it caused a lot of the friction that they already had friction, and it caused even more friction. It was like, it was a no-brainer to do that. And
there's one key question when they're interviewing Phil Jackson is that Jerry Krause was the GM, right? So he's like, they're kind of nonchalantly talking. It's like one of those segments before a break, and he asked Phil, Phil's talking about how the popularity of certain positions started going up higher. So coaches started making more money and GM salaries went down to compensate for that. And they asked is that a direct reason why Krause is probably sour to you guys? He said, I'm not going to speculate, which, maybe that is one of the reasons, that this guy was so sour. He wanted a lot of attention. If you see him in a lot of his interviews, he's always trying to hype up. It's about the executive team. And to an extent, bro, it is. You hire the talent, but, it's a little easier on an NBA squad compared to like filling an NFL roster. You know, you have to fill so much more of a salary. And
That's what I said. 90. That's what I said.
Here's my take on Krause, dude. The guy obviously was a genius, built rosters.
He passed away. He passed away, right?
No longer with us. But the guy
he discovered Phil Jackson. He brought him in as an assistant coach, you know. So I mean, he really did start the Chicago Bulls, bro. So you got to give the guy the complete credit, totally.
Yeah, but on the flip side, the guy
you also got to give him the credit for tearing it apart.
skills either, you know. He was always kind of like backstabbing his coaches. So like when he knew he didn't like somebody, he always had. So Kevin Lockery was there, who was a Heat coach at one time, Jordan's rookie year. I don't know what happened. They brought in Doug Collins.
Doug
Collins, I believe, was like, I'm sorry, there was somebody else after
before him,
Yeah, there was somebody else after Lockery whose name is escaping me. He brought Collins as a scout because he already knew he didn't like that guy. Yeah. Boom, he brings in Collins. He got rid of the guy. For Collins, he brings in Phil Jackson. So he's always like, it's almost like he's making his team on a spreadsheet. Oh, when this guy goes, I'll get this guy. Oh, I'll draft this guy. But he's never building relationships with his players, with his coaches. And dude, do you think they could have won more if they would have kept that team together, coach and player?
Yeah, dude, of course.
That's the biggest downfall. Like he started getting that ego trip, saying, you know, how good the executive team was, and we make the team, not the players. So then in his head, he's probably out to prove that he doesn't need Jordan and all these people, so he's going to just replace them with new people and win more championships. When in reality, we know that when you find that special core, you do everything to keep it together because it's so rare that you don't let it go. And even when Jordan is giving you the ultimatum, like, I'm not playing without Phil Jackson. Should have just been like, done. Phil, 7-year contract. Mike, 7-year. Whatever, you know? Should have just been blank check, whatever they could afford.
It's like, why did that have to end? Why did Phil have to, after this year, Phil is gone? Why?
You know how wrong they were.
He was you know who he is? He was the grass is always greener. He's never fucking happy. It was always okay. Oh man, look at this guy, Kukoc. He's freaking amazing. Look at this coach. Oh my God, he's amazing. Look at this guy over here. Dude, you got the greatest team. And there's always, no, it's not always greener, man.
Never happy, dude. I love that Kukoc part when they went to the Olympics. Oh. And they're like, hey, me and Scotty got Kukoc. And they just tore him up in that first game.
Bro,
he had like 2 points. It just was just like, you see his face at the end. He was just defeated. But he came back in the final, you know, against him.
Yeah, he didn't back down, and he came back and he played, man. But it says a lot about him, and I think that's why they ended up getting him. It's because of
trial by fire, man.
I always wonder too, like with any sports, you rarely get a glimpse into any team's finances, but I wonder how lucrative the team was, because that was one of the things that they said, that it was too expensive to keep the team together. But man, I can't imagine they had to still have been making money even if they kept that team together. Rob Thornbaum, I think that guy was like a GM. I don't think that's the coach, if that's what you're saying in the chat.
Yeah, he wasn't the coach.
Rod Thorne was like a GM scout guy, I think, for them. So I don't know. I know they mentioned that about the money.
Hey, I've been watching this, and dude, what made him so much better than everybody, man? He's just freaking. You're looking at those highlights, and it's like, dude, it's not like he's the highest jumper. He's not this. He's not, but complete. Dude, it's just amazing how much better he was.
I think there's 2 aspects from what I've witnessed. From the very beginning, when that opening episode, when they're telling you how competitive he was with his brother, how they were fighting for it, how they were so passionate about it. They would get, if he lost, he would be brought to or if he won, his brother would fight him. So I think that there. And then if you know, I think the last episode that happened, someone talks about how the original Bulls, when he first came there, some title about cocaine something, and about partying. And that first away game, he goes out, and they're all doing lines and got the weed and the girls and everything. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go home. And he's like, I was fine, just watching a movie, staying at home, doing my thing. And that's the difference, man. He's fresh. He's wired. He's ready to go. He doesn't need to get amped up doing that other shit. He's already where he wants to be,
But that's telling you how prepared, how mature he was.
But then he's also on another level. I mean, you hear about his energy stories, like especially like during the Olympics. He would go to practice, then go play he'd go play 18 holes of golf, go to practice, get out of practice, play another 18 holes of golf, maybe another 2, another 36 holes of golf. And then he'd come home to the hotel and play cards till 4 or 5 in the morning and then do it all over again. And, no drugs, no nothing. He was that's who he was, man.
Competitive. He'll bet on 2 roaches walking down the sidewalk or whatever to see which one. Just always competing, not even for money, just for the hell of it, dude. Like, just in his nature, in his blood.
I thought you were going to tell that story, the gambling story on the bus. Recently, the last one on the bus there, where he's like, Jordan and them are playing for, thousands of dollars a hand. Here we are up in the front playing blackjack for like $1 to $2. And Jordan comes up and says, hey, can I play with you? And he's like, why you want to play with us? He's like, we're paying for $1. He's like, because I wanted you to know that I won your money. And that's just how competitive it was. It didn't matter what it was. It's because I want you to know that I won your money. I loved it.
You saw when he was playing like the usher when they were hitting the dimes off the wall.
I was going to mention that, dude. That guy is so great. His mullet and everything.
It looked like he had
I thought it was fake. I thought it was all like set up, like because you know how they're doing those commercials with Kenny Mayne, like in the future you'll order food. I thought it was set up for that, and I'm like, holy shit, this is part of the episode.
But dude, I was surprised he didn't give that guy more shit because that guy beat his ass, bro.
He gave him the shrug.
I thought he was gonna go, nah, come on, motherfucker, I ain't leaving until I win. Dude, that was so good.
There he is. Look at him. He looks fake. With his hair. It looks like a costume. Like Uncle Drew or something.
Bro. Dude, he does look fake, bro. What's up with that guy, dude?
He reminds me a little bit of Joe Exotic if he was a security guard.
Yeah, dude. But I loved it. They were playing quarters, and I'm like, dude, I used to play that in high school, man. Just flipping the quarter.
Fucking off the wall, dude. That's crazy.
How about the whole Isaiah Thomas thing?
Oh.
How they just hated each other so bad that
they still hate each other to this day. You can see it, bro.
Yeah, some dirty stuff back and forth. I mean, I'm not even talking about the physical like beatings on the court. That is what it is. They all take that. I'm talking about the poor sportsmanship on Isaiah's part, so to speak. And then you have a chance to say something on, your interview, and you go back and basically blame it on the Boston Celtics. Yeah. Like, well, the Boston Celtics didn't shake our hands and they left. It's like, yeah, but you didn't just play the Boston Celtics 2 years in a row and beat them 2 years in a row and shake their hands 2 years in a row. Yeah. You just played the Bulls and did that. You can't shake their hand. Shit, they didn't even wait for the clock to run out. There were 7 seconds left.
They're leaving.
And the clock was stopped.
It just seems so petty, bro. So petty.
People forget that was 3 years that the Pistons beat them for 3 years. Yeah. That was obviously this is Jordan produced, so he didn't want to overhype the Pistons. They have their own doc. I think it's called Bad Boys. If anyone wants to check that out.
They're a solid squad, man. They're a real force to be reckoned with for damn near a decade.
It wasn't just that Detroit beat them, bro. Detroit beat them up for 3 years, bro.
They had the Jordan rules.
Yeah.
Where they would do shit to him. And now everybody heard about that Bradford Smith game.
Yes.
The Bradford Smith rookie.
Yeah, the Carolina
or something. And then it was the first night of a back-to-back in the other in the city, the other city in Washington. He went back and he scored as much in the first quarter, in the first half as he did in the whole game. But here's my take on that. I remember him being so mad with the Pistons not shaking hands, and this was the Bradford Smith quote. He said, "You guys remember?" He said, "Nice game, Mike." After the game, you know, he made it up. It's not true.
He made it up, exactly.
Bradford Smith said, "Back in those days, you didn't go shake hands with anybody. So no, there's no way." I didn't tell him anything, and I remembered that when he said that, I was like, "Oh shit, this guy's saying they didn't really shake hands. Why the fuck's this guy so pissed about the Pistons not shaking his hands?"
I think it's because they shook his hand. I think just in that series, like you said, for those 3 years, they got beat up physically and lost the game, and they still manned up and shook their hands. So for them not to do it on the third or fourth time to them, like it just, I think each series is different in its own, you know, because they were battling for the new top spot in the East, man. You know, that's the way it was.
And I think it's a little different because the game with LeBradford, or those were individual season games. You know, you play one game and you're out. That's 7-game series, and you played them. There's a relationship there, bro. And then
LeBradford was funny though.
And then usually, dude, I hope you guys win it for the conference. You know, it's usually win it for the AFC. You know, that's usually what you see. They didn't do that. It was like, no, they gave them a big fuck you to the Bulls.
That story with the Bradford that you're talking about was great though, because he's like, it all goes and leads up, and Mike is just laughing like it all leads up to like, what does the guy who's already great use to like fuel himself? And he says at the end of it, he's like, yeah, I made it up. Like he said, he just made that story up so it would fuel him. Like, yeah, the Bradford, whatever, he said that. So that's fired me up. So the second half of the next, when we go back to Chicago, or what was it, back to back?
Back to Washington, yeah. But think about it.
Yeah, Washington.
He says that story. Okay, yeah, he just made it up, but then it gets picked up and it's put in the papers, and then you see it in print, and then everybody's talking it. You start believing that it really did happen, dude.
Yeah, it's not even like social media and stuff today. Like, that was just a print in a paper.
Yeah.
There was an actual chance that maybe he was just making that up and that maybe the papers might not catch wind of it. But, you know, not nowadays. People don't understand that. You know, you could say stuff on the court or talk shit, and the papers would never print it, you know?
Dude, what about the one about, who was it, George Carl, that walked right by him at a restaurant? And he used that as, dude, the guy just, he loved that shit. It's almost like Belichick and the Patriots, Randy, your favorites. Every time they say something, you know it's over.
Yep. Hey, Stay Puffs here. Go 99.
What's up,
guys? Hey, yeah, I get it, man. The regular season game, not as meaningful as that fourth year in a row in the playoffs. If they had been shaking hands leading up to it, but you know, they left that dude off the dream team, dude. He should have been on the dream team. Isaiah Thomas
totally should have been on the dream team.
Who do you take out of the dream team, though?
You see how much it hurts him, man. That like it really hurts.
Take Leitner off, right? You didn't even need him to begin with.
They had one college player, and they took Leitner over Shaquille.
Was Shaq around yet?
Yeah, Shaquille. They took Leitner and they didn't take Shaquille. Who do you take out to take out Thomas?
You can't take out Stockton, right?
Who? Mullen? Maybe Mullen?
You can't take out Stockton and you can't take out Magic?
Can't take out Drexler.
I take out mine's is Mullen.
Drexler, man. Come on, dude. He got shitted on in the Last Dance too, man.
Yeah.
They barely showed that series. It made it look like they just whooped their ass. Drexler was a force, dude, and he was dealing with like a pretty serious injury. They didn't even mention it during the series.
And Drexler's the reason Jordan didn't get picked by them, because they already had Drexler. Portland. That's how we ended up with the Bulls. Was because of Drexler.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Off the top, I'd say Mullen, I guess, man.
I would say Mullen too. That's my pick.
Yeah.
But I went straight with O'Neal instead of Leitner. But Leitner was a god back then.
Yeah. Hated that guy too. Let me ask you guys a question off the top of your head. No Google. Dominique Wilkins was badass too. I liked him too, man.
Mm-hmm.
How many points do you think Jordan averaged in his last season?
31.
At age 39.
31.
Nah, man, he was low. He's probably like 18 to 22.
I'm saying, oh, in his last season in Washington, I would say 20.
Yeah, all right. You hit it on the head. 20 a game. Dude, there's NBA All-Stars,
Mhm.
multiple-time All-Stars that don't average 20 points in a single season.
No,
And
dude.
this guy said, all right, you know what? I'm going to hang it up, dude. I'm averaging 20 a game. That's one of the things I look at when I look at how fucking great he was, that I'm like, holy shit, this dude was 39, not really playing a shitload of minutes, and he still averaged 20 points a game. That's fucking amazing.
Dude, he was just insane, man. He was, and he had to change his game because he wasn't the high flyer he was anymore. It was just that mid-range shot that was just deadly, and he knew how to get a shot.
Yep.
His freaking. They talk about LeBron's basketball IQ, bro. Jordan's was off the charts, man. Off the charts.
A savant.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it. ESPN's top 10 players of all time.
I did.
They put that out. Is that readable there?
Yeah.
You guys like that list? Would move people around? Would take people out? Would put other people in?
I'd have at least Kobe in there somewhere.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Kobe's not there. Okay, no 10.
There's
Shaq at 10 is humble. You know what I mean? Like, Shaq was a force. They had to change the rules of the NBA for him. He was just unheard of before, man. A guy his size and the way he moved up and down the court was just a total phenom.
I find Duncan extremely boring, and I know how good he is and all that.
Dude, that's the same thing Chad and me are always arguing about, and I'll give it to you. He is boring, but dude, he's one of my top 3 players. I fucking love Duncan, bro. I
would definitely at least switch out Duncan and Shaq 8 for 10.
Yes.
You know
I definitely would too. I'm just saying he's one of my favorite players.
Dude. I would build a team around Duncan. He's a great guy, man.
10 is perfect for Duncan on this list. I agree.
I'd rather watch David Robinson.
I didn't like David Robinson, man. I didn't like
I'm
him.
not saying he's better, but
he had more attitude. He had a little bit more.
Funner to watch, dude.
Dude, Duncan was money, man. I'm sorry. I'm not taking nothing away from that guy. His fundamentals, his fundamentals were insane.
So here, I'll run the list real quick. Obviously, Jordan is 1. They got LeBron.
Okay. Jordan is. Who's your guy's number 2? Let's go one by one. Who's your number 2?
Let's just get LeBron out of there too. Okay, like let's just be honest. He's maybe at most top 5. He's maybe
your number 2 then. Who's your number 2?
You gotta have at least Kareem, Shaq, Kobe.
I'm putting Kobe. Kobe's my number 2. Kobe's my number 2.
Dude, where's
about dominance? You know, I'm not just thinking about rings like Russell there. You know, I know he was good. So Kobe, you know, we were talking earlier, Mamba mentality. I mean, even if it's not Kobe, Kobe is ahead of LeBron. So
I think so.
LeBron is at number 2.
For me, it's Kobe at number 2. That's what I'm putting.
You could put Kareem at 2 and Kobe at 3, maybe. I'm just trying to be like, you know.
Dude, people don't get Kareem was fucking phenomenal, dude.
Dude, how can you put LeBron ahead of Kobe? Nope. How could anybody do that? Kobe has 5 championships. LeBron's what, 3 and 6 in the finals? What's his record in the finals?
Dude, I'm just saying as a player. I'm not even looking at championships. I'm putting Kareem. I mean, I'm putting Kobe ahead of LeBron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, I like fucking Wilt Chamberlain too, dude. That guy was a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's boring too, man. Kareem.
No, he wasn't.
Boring, but he was dominant, dude. And you could
he was not boring.
man.
Yes, dominant for
he
sure.
Was not boring, bro. He was a fucking stud.
Why doesn't nobody use the sky hook no more?
That's a good point. Don't
They
know.
tried to teach it to Shaq, but he just couldn't. His arms were too big. He couldn't do it. I don't know.
Dude, do you guys remember when they blocked it one time? It was like fucking the earth stopped when they blocked Kareem's skyhook, dude. It was like earth shattering.
It's unstoppable. If you learn how to do that as a big man, it's unstoppable.
It's unstoppable.
Yep.
But I don't know. I found them a little bit boring. He slowed down the showtime a little bit, dude.
He was older, man. But that guy, dude, he was in Milwaukee and he won a freaking championship there. He won, what, 2 or 3 or 4 at UCLA when he was in college?
When he was Lou Alcindor.
Who else in there? You know what? I'm surprised. I would take Duncan out of this list and I would put Olajuwon at 10.
Olajuwon's not in there?
No, he's not in there. I would put Olajuwon in there. I would put Duncan at 11.
Olajuwon's insane, dude.
I love Duncan, but he's not better than Olajuwon. I'm sorry.
But dude, they're giving credit for those 5 championships. For sure. I mean, it's the first thing they talk about there.
Yeah, no, I would put him at 11 for me. I would put Olajuwon at 10 or even higher. I think he deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, 90, you got a point, man. LeBron was a little bit efficient. I mean, we all know it takes Kobe like a half a game to light up. But, man, when he lit up, it was...
I think Kobe's a better – I would rather have Kobe than LeBron. I'm sorry. I'm starting a team. Who do you take, LeBron or Kobe? I'm taking Kobe.
I'm not sure. I might take LeBron, dude.
I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's an easy one. I'm just giving the edge to Kobe. I'd rather have his mentality.
Can I tell you that I think Kobe's better than LeBron, but if I'm starting a team, I'd rather have LeBron because he's going to make
that makes sense.
Better.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm good with that.
It's really just what your coaching style is.
Exactly.
So I totally see that point. I would totally probably agree with you, man, because I'm more of a team-orientated player, person. So I would probably say, yeah, you have a better chance of making everyone better with LeBron, starting a team with LeBron. But, man, dude, my gut instinct, I want to go with Kobe. Like the way he attacked, and when you see them Laker days and
my gut, I'd rather have Kobe. I totally understand what you're saying. I'd rather just have Kobe.
You're starting with Kobe. All right. You're entitled to. We can disagree. We can agree.
We could disagree all night on that one, dude.
Yes, go. That is true. He scored more points than anybody.
Yeah.
Which, maybe because of that, he should be. Where do they have him? They have him number 3.
Yeah, 3's not
the screen. This dude has fucking 11 rings, but he wasn't much of a scorer. He was more like a defensive force. This dude shut down Chamberlain. Can you imagine if this guy wasn't around, what Wilt would have done?
Dude, that guy, I believe he averaged. I don't know if he averaged
11 rings or 9.
He would have like 50 rebound. He had 50 rebound games. What the hell is that?
That's like 2 Dennis Rodmans out there getting rebounds.
You guys want to look at stats? Go look at Wilt Chamberlain stats from back in the day and Russell's stats from back in the day. They're just mind-boggling.
Right.
Wilt averaged 50 a season. Is that right? Or did I make that?
He might have. I don't remember that, but he also led the season, the league in scoring, and he was the assist leader one year.
Here's the best stat.
He hooked up with over 100 women.
100?
1,000 women.
1,000?
Thousands of women.
1,000. Living Color back in the day did a joke on it. They had a mother and daughter walking by, and it looked like kind of like the Vietnam Memorial Wall with all the names on it. But walking, and he's like, "Is this the memorial?" Like, "Oh, this is Wilt the Stilt Memorial. These are all the women that slept with Wilt." It's like, "Look, here's my name," and then they go down, and the daughter's like, "Here's mine," and they're all, "Yay!" I'm like, "Oh man, I love In Living Color."
Dude, his 3rd year in the league, he averaged 50 and 25 rebounds a game.
What is that, dude? What is that?
Fuck. Now, let's see what some of these people look like that he played against.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. Was he playing against like some 5 foot white guy still doing layups and
hey, but it's not his fault though, man. That's not his fault, dude.
I know, and I feel the same way when people try to say that stuff about Babe Ruth, and it's like,
exactly.
Dude, you can't hate that he was the best at the time. You know,
he was the best that there was. You can't hate him for that, dude. It's not his fault.
No. It's just a little context, to add. You got to analyze it too. There was like a lot less athletic people in the league. Babe Ruth, I love Babe Ruth. He's one of my favorite athletes of all time. But dude,
you put him in. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Americans play at that point, So like, he may not have even been the best baseball player of his time. If you had a lot of like Josh Gibson, a lot of dudes in the Negro leagues, and so you got to look at other shit around. Beast.
Like I totally get it, man. And at some point, I'm just like, dude, like you said, it was the best we had. The way the times were, it is what it is. Those were the people who played. So why even bring up those things? Exactly. Like people are like, Babe Ruth is padded, and padded stats, and I'm like, why? The people that ran the leagues and what it was it fair? No. Well, like you said, were there better players than the Negro leagues? Probably more than a fact. Hell yes, there probably were, but factors of the times that we live in. We're better placed than we were back then. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay, but look,
you can't say shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But look, nobody else was averaging 50. Nobody else was hitting 61 home runs. You gotta give them the credit. I'm not taking credit away from any of these people, man.
No, I'm not taking credit away from him. I'm just saying.
The times were different. Different times.
As many,
you make the same argument, even if you don't throw in people of other races or whatever. Just throw in the fact that people versus people, they didn't work out back then. They didn't lift weights. They didn't do calisthenics. They literally did go out in the farm, go to work, and then go play professional baseball. You know what I mean? They didn't sit there and have all day to work out and have professional trainers and doctors.
They were working normal jobs.
Yeah,
they paid for this. Can you imagine working 40 hours or whatever they worked back in the day, or probably more? And then
have to travel for baseball games, go play, practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oscar Robinson could have been on that list, John.
Oh, yeah, Oscar Robinson could have been on that list. Oh, yeah.
All right, dudes. Anything else on basketball? What's the latest?
I got one topic I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal the other day, he said they should just scrap the season, and because if it's going to have an asterisk, and I've been watching his comments get killed. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm in total agreement with Shaq. Just scrap the season, man. I feel bad for all the players that were having an awesome season, LeBron with the Lakers, all that shit. But anything that comes now, to me, is humongous asterisk. I'm not even going to consider it. I think they should scrap the season.
How many games did they have left?
They had a ton of games, but what would you start? Right in the playoffs? These teams got to get back together. They're out of sync. And then when is this going to end? July to start in October? When they start, or September when they start getting back into it? Just wait and get back into it in September, October, and start the new season, man. This is nobody's fault. This is just something that happened, and I'm in total agreement with Shaq, man. I'm sorry.
I'm with it. Yeah. Why not? You're going to end up having some fluke win of some team that,
And that's all it is.
You might even have injuries, You might even have injuries from people.
Can you imagine how many people will be tuning into the NBA playoffs right now if they said, all right, we're starting June 1st, no fans, NBA playoffs.
Oh, there's no competition as far as viewing.
They're thinking long and hard about losing those Bills. I'm greedy, dude. I want to see it. You're going to tune in too, right?
Dude,
as a fan, I'll watch it. I'm not going to lie. But just as as a player, coach, whatever, I don't know if they would – I don't know. They'd have to sign something. Like the players would probably have to have some enormous insurance policy or something on top of what they already have,
It's not just that. Are you going to have like a mini preseason to get them back into shape? Like exhibition games to get them back into the sync? Or you're just going to go, okay, now play? You can't.
All right, dudes, I'm ready to shift gears from basketball because we spent like 45 minutes on it.
Let's do it.
Basketball?
Where are we at? What's next?
Next is I got boxing in front of me. We'll just do boxing real quick. Any of you guys watch boxing or any combat sports or anything like that? Anybody?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not really up on it too much. I
I
watch
know
it
that
up, but I'm not crazy fanatic.
they had Fight Island, 2 weeks ago?
That was good.
I wasn't able to go see it.
UFC. It must be going on right now. Dude, you guys heard about Tyson?
Yeah, I heard they're going to do Holyfield 3.
Is that true, man? That he's coming back, or he's thinking about it?
Did you see the video of him training, dude?
Yeah.
I know Joe Rogan's all over his ass.
That
Dude,
thing's insane, man, because I watch his podcast from time to time, and when he's sitting there like high chilling, he looks like he was a little bit maybe slightly overweight, which is to be natural. I mean, with his age and not doing nothing, and then all of a sudden I see this video of him in these skin tight shorts and like just nothing but muscles, just bam, 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 just throwing these punches like the Tyson of old. It was just amazing. I loved it.
Oh, dude, he's the biggest draw. Can you imagine Tyson now if he was here?
dude, the fact of the matter is, he looked ferocious when you look at it. He was fast, but he's 53 years old, and the last time we saw him was, I don't know, 15 or more years ago, and he got his ass kicked by nobody, dude. That I don't know, man.
He ain't gonna have he can't go the distance. He didn't have stamina. He's gonna have to train like Rocky 13 when he was like the old man coming back with his wrestling. And he had to do nothing but haymakers.
The stamina's not there. The desire. I can't just see the fire being the same, man. I just don't.
That I still think that would bring more money than that Tyson Fury DeAndre Wilder fight. You know what I mean? Even if it's just an exhibition.
Yeah.
Just those two sign off and they fight it out again. Hell
No,
yeah.
I'm totally
I'd pay $60 for that. I paid for Mayweather and Pacquiao.
It will bring big money, man, but I just don't see it.
Ginobili has 5 rings, and he's the greatest flopper of all time, the father of the flop, Paola.
Dude, I love Manu, bro. Manu was a fucking warrior, bro. I loved him.
Yeah, he was good.
LeBron's getting up there at the flop father.
He's right there.
The flop father, good one. I'd watch that fight. Holyfield's coming back too, and he's 57, dude. I seen him on Rogan one time. He looks like he has trouble. I don't want to say. I had a friend that was a boxer, and later slurring his speech and stuff like that.
I wouldn't want to see it, man. It's really not needed, man.
Nah, man.
I'm not going to sit there and watch Tyson just beat up some dude that doesn't have full control of his functions and shit,
I don't want to see that. Do you guys remember when Jim Brown was threatening to come back from retirement, like in the mid-40s? It almost feels like that. It's like, no, dude, just stay away, man. Just
play football.
Yeah, there was a time, it was like in the 1980s, early 80s, that there was rumors. I think he was like 44, and there was rumors he was going to come back and play for the Raiders.
Was he already a Hall of Famer?
Yes, long time. He retired like in 1969, 1970.
He was in too many movies, man, making him think he was younger than he was.
Yeah, and thank God that never happened. And that kind of feels like with Tyson coming back. Dude, you're good, man.
I mean, yeah, if he wants to do an exhibition, but to jump in the middle of the WBA or whatever it is now, I don't see it happening, man.
I hope not, dude. It's a sad thing. I remember when Muhammad came back, and he was, dude, when he fought Holmes, and Holmes just ate. Oh,
that was sad.
It was sad.
I'd like to see Tyson in like a 3 or 5 round fight. You know what I mean? Just go all out and is what it is. But
something for charity, man. Something like that. It would be amazing. But dude, don't take it serious, man. It's just an exhibition.
It could be publicity for his weed business. His weed. He's got like this hotel they're building, this resort, like a weed resort. So maybe he's just trying to drum up his name more. Again, who knows, dude?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see.
Dude, he's great, man. I mean, dude. I mean, not to go back on that and not even to try to like hold a candle to it, but in a way, he's kind of like up there with like a Jordan-esque. You know what I mean? Just the myth, the legend, like the whole like fame behind him, and just the awe. Like, you remember seeing him when he was like 16 in the Olympics? He sure as hell didn't change that much when he became like he was still like the same damn size almost, man. He was He was massive.
Dude, he was a monster, bro. He was
The other thing,
scary.
the other thing that didn't change much about him too was that like kind of hood mentality, dude. Like he had that. He would still go back to the hood and he would still do crazy shit. You know, he's calmed down. He's a different person now. You know, he went off the rails when Customato died. And
yeah, dude, that was the worst thing that ever happened, bro. When Customato died, it was like, dude, he was just like on a trajectory, and that's just fucking. It was almost like when the Challenger blew up. That's how he went when Customato died, man. It was so sad.
There's gonna be a boxing card, I think, sometime June 1st. They're talking about it. Top Rank on ESPN. Nobody major, but it'd be cool so they can get back, you know, first card and start doing some other shit. Boxing should be relatively easy, kind of like UFC. You just need two dudes to say, okay, we're cool. We'll get
tested. You're tested. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
I mean, they just did the UFC stuff, so I mean,
one guy last time was positive.
Really?
Yeah, but everybody else, you know, they had like over 10 fights, I think.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm ready to shift from UFC boxing unless you guys have anything else.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good, man.
All right, cool. Let's hit up baseball real quick. Anybody baseball fan here or in the chat?
I follow baseball, but I'm not going to say I'm a big fan.
I'm a Marlins fan, man. But I'm a big Marlins fan. Went to the first World Series. Wasn't in town to get tickets for the second one, but I took this last year off after, you know, the new ownership and stuff. I was just kind of pissed and just, you know, wasn't motivated to watch. You know, baseball's slow enough as it is, so to tune in, I was more focused with the comic community and on the YouTube channel, so it was fine for me. I said I'll pick up next year. You know, we'll see how it goes from there, which I'm happy. You know, I knew that it was going to be a building process for the Marlins, and it was going to be ultimately the best steps, but damn, dude, we were like one pitcher away. When Jose Fernandez was on the team before he died, we were one pitcher away from being World Series champions, the way I felt it. So if you could just make a move to try to snag two pitchers and try for 1 year, and if you win, try again. If not, blow the team up, you know, just like you did anyway. But you were so close. Why not just give it one shot? That was my big thing.
Such a sad story, bro. That guy passed.
Yeah, he was such a good guy too.
He was one of my favorites, dude. And
loved him, man. He just lit up the whole TV when he was there playing and smiling, and like seriously, like you just felt it, like when you saw that kid, man. And if you were lucky to see him live in person, like it just lit up the whole stadium. You know, when you see that big smile on the jumbo screen.
It's so sad. Oh,
TV. That dude was pitching. I didn't want to miss like first pitch. You know, I was there, and I'm right along there with you, Bake. Like, I thought, dude, they had Stanton, Yelich, who I thought that dude was going to be a batting champion. I never thought he was going to be a two-time MVP and what he's become. Ozuna. You had some pretty decent guys on the infield.
You had the best outfield in the major leagues, in my opinion. You know, between Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna was a decent, you know, guy.
And young. Everybody was young. They hadn't really hit their peak yet. They need two pitchers probably, but they're cheapskates, dude. They were never gonna.
Yeah, they try to blame Stanton's high salary, and it's like, dude, I don't even want to hear that, bro. Like baseball doesn't even have like problems with salary cap, really, and what's it called? Everyone has a player that's paid money like that. You know what I mean? Like the Yankees can obviously afford him and Aaron Judge. Everyone's supposed to be dealing with the same type of money, right? So why does it matter if we had him or somebody else had him? It really didn't.
Cheap. And for a long time, they were like one of the most profitable organizations because they didn't pay anybody. Because
they had to change the rules of baseball because the Marlins owners were so cheap. They had to spend more money. Yeah, no, I remember that, dude. It was a big article. They had the lowest payroll in baseball, but they made the most profit out of any team in baseball. And I mean, they truly did treat it like a business, and it was sad.
No, and then they fleeced the city of Miami for that stadium, claiming to be poor, and they built that stadium for him. As soon as that contract that he gave Stanton was a farce. He was never going to pay it. He knew it.
Yeah.
Gave him all that backloaded contract. He knew he wasn't going to pay the end of it. He knew he was going to sell the team along with the stadium when he could, because I think they put like a 5-year moratorium on him. Hey, we'll give you the stadium, but you can't sell a team for 5 years.
Oh yeah, they were shady, man. Him and his son-in-law or whatever, David Sampson, yeah, they were shady, man. And I'm in the Keys, dude. So don't get me wrong, I rep Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins. So at the time we had the Florida Marlins. So it was great. It was all of Florida. So, and I get it. Miami had to pay for the stadium. Shouldn't have happened that way. So the team name changed because Miami paid. But at that time, it sucked for, just a fan that was not from Miami, but from Florida. And, in a way, it felt like you were losing a piece of the team,
It was weird. Yeah, for sure. So baseball, they got a proposal, and they want to try to play like a half season. They say every team is going to have, every league is going to have DH, which would make it simpler. So like local teams can play teams closer to them, even if they're in the other league. So a lot more interleague play. So you don't have to have the pitcher hitting, and the scheduling and travel will be easier. Owners are saying they're going to lose like $150,000 a game without fans, which, goddamn, dude, that's why it's so fucking expensive to go to a fucking game, because these people need to make $150K per game. Jesus.
It's ridiculous.
And now there's like a lot of disagreements about money with the players. A lot of them are coming up saying, we want all our money, not half what you promised us, or not a prorated amount. So I think if they get a chance to solve the coronavirus logistics and thing, fucking money will get in the way, because it does in baseball.
It sounds like that, right? It sounds like it's going that way. But dude, come on. Everybody sucked it up. Everybody's been paying a price. The stimulus. Everybody's lost jobs, and you're gonna fucking bitch
about playing a game. No, I kind of just thought about this right now. So forgive me for going back to basketball too. But you're talking about the asterisks, and what are you gonna do? Start the season now? Why not? The date can always change in the future, but why not just kind of do something? Whatever these leagues are, basketball, kind of like World Baseball, charitable little league, that doesn't count towards the Major League Baseball championship or the NBA championship, but still have these players come on, be able to make money, maybe go towards charity or whatever, and play for some different trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like a street ball league for NBA or whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want, but do something else, because people want the sports. They obviously want to play sports. They want to get paid, but the owners don't want to pay them for a full season. So, okay, here's a shorter season. It's going to be 2 months. Basketball. Here's your teams. Put your teams together from whoever wants to be in this. Dude, like I said, I'm just spitballing.
I'm good. No, but I'm good with that, man. It's just not going to be the same. Don't pretend it's going to be the same.
No, but it's kind of it would be kind of like in a way that Big Three League that
yes.
Ice Cube owns, which I'm kind of down for. I've watched a few games and I like it.
That's funny, dude, because I think the problem with that is just liability, contracts. Teams are not going to let people play. You know what I've been watching on replay or late at night? ESPN started playing the Korean Baseball League. Yes. Just to watch a bit. I started watching a little bit of that shit just to get some live.
They're playing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. They started playing, and they have like Carl Ravitch and Eduardo Perez calling like remotely the games from their houses. So they're watching the TV feed, but they're calling the game and doing like play-by-play and whatever.
Do you remember the old baseball movie with Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball?
Mr. Baseball.
I love that movie, man. He goes over to Japan and plays. He has to get used to the culture and everything. I love that movie.
That movie was excellent, dude.
Guilty pleasure, man.
You know what I'm almost embarrassed about, dude? Talking about, oh my God, the thirst for sports. I didn't even realize it, bro. And I look, and it's like I've been watching. Have you guys watched Cornhole?
I know what it is, but
They're watching they've been showing it on ESPN, the Cornhole League. I'm like, and then the thing is, I wasn't realizing it, and I was watching for like half an hour to 40 minutes, and I'm like, and all of a sudden, it's like I snapped out of it. It's like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? Are you serious? I was keeping score. I was trying to see who was doing good. I was
play that drunk while I'm tailgating. Like, what are you watching on TV?
bro, fucking cornhole on ESPN, dude.
I have a question for you guys, man. And no disrespect to baseball players out there, but we're on the baseball kind of. What is the big deal? What's so bad with the egos of baseball players that they got to cry and try to hit people when a batter flips the bat? Like, honestly,
Dude, come on, dude. Who cares? Fuck.
Like, literally, it's not even like nothing. It literally, it was never nothing when I was growing up, when I played baseball in high school, even through the 4 years that I was at college. There was no one ever brought up that problem. That's all the way up until 2002, 2003. There was never a problem or an issue with people saying bat flip. So where all of a sudden did this bat flip problem come from that people are such,
Dude, it's almost like not somebody saying, "Hey, your mother." It's almost like somebody spitting on your mother. That's how bad they make it.
I know, but like how? Like seriously, I was always taught you're supposed to bat flip when you hit a lot. Get it the hell out of the way. You know what I mean? Like now all of a sudden you're pissed and you want to hit people with pitches. Yeah. But that leads me to the next point. Why is baseball like the only sport, like when they fight, that they can't just fight one-on-one? That they gotta just be a bunch of punk bitches and fucking clear a bench? Like, why can't, like, if you want to be man enough and hit that 250-pound dude in the head with a baseball, then when he gets up and wants to whoop your ass, you better be able to handle it like a man. I understand if 3 other players come and jump in, that's what it used to be, and then the benches would clear. Now it's just like, oh, snap, let's do this. Like, dude, I don't know about you. Like, I would defend my friends, but if they were doing something stupid and they deserved an ass whooping, I'd be like, dude, I'll catch you later. You know what I mean? Like, I'm there to make sure you're not going to get killed.
Exactly.
If you deserve your ass whooping, then go take your ass whooping. You know?
Yeah, you want to be an asshole? You got yourself into this shit. Get yourself out. I'm gonna be here just to make sure that you're okay.
Exactly, yeah, dude. Because the baseball book is like that thick. You know, there's all these unwritten rules, and we're like in a transitional phase now, or like a lot of younger guys that have more flair, you know, a lot of Hispanic players, you know, and so like,
dude, that's what brings the money, is that flair, dude.
It makes it a little more entertaining, you know.
There's a lot of ego with that, right? I mean, like with the Latin players, a lot of machismo, and just like there's just a lot of ego there, you know, just from friends I know and just being around, you know, the culture in South Florida. I've noticed that, so it wouldn't surprise me that rubs off, you know, with the passion of the game, you know.
It's they're getting past that little by little, you know, like that's becoming. I mean, dude, one of my favorite players of all time is Ricky Henderson. Dude, he'd hit a home run, he'd like pimp his collar, and like,
Ricky Henderson was my favorite player of all time.
Basically,
dude, he was great.
Now, you know.
No, what about when he would catch it in the outfield and he would just fucking flip it down? Yeah, he would go whoop.
Barry Bonds had a little bit of that too. He would do a little bit of those things too.
Ricky was the one guy that you know for the love of the game. Yeah, he had a little bit of money problem, but no matter what, even later in life, he still went down and played in the minor leagues. He just kept playing ball, you know. He just loved it.
Yeah.
It's just old school. It was for the love of the game. Exactly.
Let me read you this guy, dude, and this is what pisses me off about baseball, because I'm not gonna lie and say I sit there and watch every game, but you know, sometimes I'm working in the office and it's good background noise.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
If the announcers are good, you know, you just have it on. Oh, they scored a run. You know, I'm not glued to my screen watching.
But that's the beauty of baseball, man. That's you can have it doing that, and you're still involved in the sport, but you're not having to be tuned in the entire time. You know, I mean, to be honest, if I'm on a long trip, I used to throw on Sports Radio 560. And listen to the Marlins, and you're just for the drive, and it was great. Or the Heat, you know, they used to throw the Heat games, man.
Or you could go with your buddy to a game, and you just have a long conversation while that game's happening in the background. You know, it's like you're still paying attention. But so this is Blake Snell. He's a pitcher from the Rays. I'll give you a couple quotes. Bro, I'm risking my life. What do you mean it should not be a thing? It should 100% be a thing. If I'm going to play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. It should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half. On top of that, a 33% cut off the half that's already there. So I'm getting like 25%. I don't know, dude. I think they shouldn't obviously force anybody to play. If you don't want to play and you don't think it's worth it, then don't play. And then whoever wants to play. But like,
it's not going to come off their contract though. You're still going to owe them that many days or months on the contract
next year or something. But like, last thing people like us want to hear is like, you're arguing over a couple million of.
I don't want to hear nobody bitching about this shit, bro.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, but let's look at it as far as like I'm on that side, but let's just play devil's advocate. You know, look at these people that are working at Publix or whatever that are wanting hazard pay. Look at all these people that are, you know, just literally scared. I'm not one of them. You know, I'm cautious. I wear my mask in public places, but you know, when the stats say that 1% of people or less are dying, then by all means, let's not church it up and say it's way worse than it really is. But also that doesn't mean that I don't care about the 1% of people that are dying. I am very careful of my parents and elderly friends and people that I'm around. But if these players get paid on a weekly basis anyway, and they only get a full paycheck if they complete the season doing their things, then you're not going to get paid unless you get paid to play anyway. So when you start the season again, you'll start getting paid again. And I'm sorry, if you don't play a whole season, you don't get paid for the whole season. Mm-hmm. You know, when in life do you get paid full pay for doing half a job? You know, it doesn't work that way, bro. And like you said, we don't need to hear multi-million-dollar people that playing bitching about this in a time of need. You know, in a time when mom and pop businesses are going out of business because multi-million companies like the Lakers and Harvard and Ruth's Chris are taking SBA, small business loans. You know, how does a company that makes millions of dollars a small business?
Big, you brought up Publix. I worked for Publix for over 30 years, and I've had associates call me because they still got my number and they call me, and I know, and they ask me, what should I do? And I've had they've left Publix because of this, because it's not worth it. And
it's a rock and a hard place, man. Like, you need money for your family, but then what's money gonna do if you bring the virus home to your family? You know,
and we left Publix because of this shit. And these baseball players are freaking complaining. No, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not on your side. I'm sorry. I'm not. I can't.
I'm with you. Go play or don't play, but nope.
To say they want a full year's paycheck, like, that's bullshit. Like, whatever your normal pay is, whatever your normal circumstances, we're not going to force you to play. If that's the way you feel and you want to, keep your health.
And that's fine.
But don't try to demand more money for half the work. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're in agreement on that one for sure, dude. Sports was so much cooler when I was a kid and I didn't know how much money anybody made,
Yeah.
For sure. I'm ready to shift out of baseball unless you guys get anything else.
Let's do it, bro.
I'm good. Yeah, that's a great comment. Like, when you're younger, you just thought a million was like the most. Like, when you heard millions, yep, all those people are making the same amount of money. You didn't care about it. It didn't bother you. It didn't matter.
To your point, dude, I still remember when Joe Montana hit $1 million. And that was like, fuck.
Big deal.
Is making $1 million. And now, come on, dude. It's just the money is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was young. I remember when if you got $1 million, it meant you weren't supposed to have to work ever again in your life. That is not necessarily the case nowadays. Although I could probably stretch $1 million for a good long while.
For a good long while, son.
Dude, this kid is complaining about $7 million, and he's gonna get like $2 million or something clean. Come on, bro.
Dude, it's a slap in the face to everybody, every freaking person on the front line, dude. Every nurse, everybody, bro. It's a slap in the face, dude. I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out of here. All right.
Did you see the Altuve tweet?
No.
There's I forget what it's something about not wanting to play because of all this stuff, and it's like the Astros were confirmed for cheating, and some pitcher was, I'm paraphrasing, basically I forget who it was, but it was saying, doesn't matter, as soon as you come back there's going to be a 2-seam fastball right for your head. Basically telling him shut up, like no one even wants to hear from you right now. It's just bitching about playing base. Huh?
Somebody actually said that?
Yeah, a pitcher.
Oh wow, nice.
They responded in a tweet.
Baseball, dude, they police themselves sometimes, so like you're my teammate, I know you said why does everybody have to go out, but they're really like, I think more than any other sport, like a family, dude, and they like, you just hit my guy, oh wait till you come up to bat, you can't hit my dude like that.
I'm with that. And there are certain circumstances, man. If you got that peewee, that scrawny pitcher and you're pitching at, you're throwing at the other team's pitcher's head, that's like dirty shots at another team's quarterback. So I totally understand like when it gets escalated to that, but most of the time, let's be honest, you see two relatively same-sized guys going at it, and all of a sudden the whole bench is clear, and that's my whole thing.
Hold me back.
Yeah. No one ever. I hate fighting in sports, bro, except hockey, because everyone knows, especially in the NBA and stuff, you're not really gonna fight. No one ever like connects that blow like you see out on the street yard, fighting. They know the ref is gonna break them up. Their teammate.
It's rare. It's very rare.
Last time was probably 20 years ago with that Indiana Pacers and Ron Artest, and people were coming out of the stands. The one hit wonder was Jermaine O'Neal sliding in, just boom, blasting that dude.
It's so hard to find good footage of that. The NBA, I think, has like erased all fucking YouTube shit. It's hard.
Dude, there was court cases and shit. It was probably had to get deleted legally, man.
Have you guys ever seen where Rudy Tomjanovich got hit?
No.
Look, Rudy. Remember the coach for the Rockets?
Yes,
Rudy
I remember him.
Tomjanovich. Look, somebody punched him. I think it was in the 70s.
Was it Latrell? Oh no, not Latrell Sprewell.
No, it wasn't Latrell. Latrell went against the coach. Rudy was
he choked him.
Rudy was a player at this time.
Rudy Tomjanovich. It was in the 70s. Look that up. He gets clocked where I think he lost time. I mean, he lost like a half a season. He got knocked the fuck out in the 70s. That shot connected. Rudy Tomjanovich. He got punched, dude. He got destroyed. He got destroyed, bro. Watch the Sixers, dude. Oh, that is so. Dude, he gets
already down.
He got like his face got shattered. It was so bad. Right there. That's it. That's the punch.
Oh,
his face got shattered.
Damn. You got knocked the fuck out, man.
The fuck out, dude. It totally destroyed him. He was never the same after that.
No, it isn't, man. If you've never been hit or hurt or just anything, dude, like sports, you've never broken a bone or something, you're fearless.
Yeah, but that one, I think it shattered his eye socket, his orbital bone. He was never the same.
I had some kind of like that, not nearly as bad, but I played baseball, second base, and I was fearless, and I dove, and one hit a pebble one time, popped me right in the eye socket, and I was afraid of the ball ever since, man. I couldn't get my nerve back, no matter how many times I got hit.
You're not the same player after that. I had my son in Little League, and dude, he went out. He was in practice to go get a fly on first base, and the ball totally missed his glove, hit him in the nose. He started bleeding. That was it. Baseball was over for my son.
Dude, I've been hit anywhere else, and everywhere else I was fine, but that one pop in the eye even at hitting, I wasn't the same at hitting either. I just couldn't do it. Not that I was sitting there afraid, but just you didn't have that killer instinct anymore. You were cautious because you knew what it was like to get hurt.
Exactly.
Baseball's a motherfucker, dude. I remember playing like stickball with some dudes in the park at Oakland Park in Hialeah,
Yeah, dude, I played there.
and playing with like guys that were pretty fucking good at stickball. And then we went to the baseball season, and just the thought of the fear of the baseball made them terrible. So
Yeah.
this guy was making contact, stickball, hitting the ball all over the place. We got on the baseball field, just afraid of the ball, dude. Baseball, I mean, that's really fucking tough, man. To stand in the box, especially the dude could be wild, the dude could be throwing hard. You could get nailed, man.
When you're young too, I mean, and where I was, there was very few guys that could throw hard and accurate. So
Yes.
when we first got into pitching, they were just throwing people in there that could throw hard, and people were getting beamed left and right. You know, it took a while before you kind of like zeroed in a strike zone and actually trusted a pitcher to throw strikes consecutively, you know, without hitting you.
Dude, I was so bad. I love baseball. I was so bad. I wanted to be good at it, but I was so bad. I don't know why. I'll tell one quick story about baseball, and then we'll move on to football.
No. If you're gonna say a story, I gotta say a story.
All right, I'll give you one. So they put me into pitch. I was super excited. Yeah, pitching. Home field. They bring in the other team. Dude, I loaded the bases, 3 straight base on balls. I only pitched 1 strike. You know how I got the strike? I threw the ball and went behind the guy's back, and it hit his bat. Only strike I ever threw in my
ball.
Go, Hialeah. What's your story?
What's the chat? 90 said that right there. Locker room or baseball's like a family when he was talking about the fighting stuff. And it is, man. And I would recommend that to anyone if they have kids. Play baseball. I mean, even though I was on shitty teams, but to me, you know, it was some of the best times of my life. Like just to this day, the smells. Like when I go to the ballpark and I smell like a leather glove or a ball, it just instantly takes me back to a practice or a game. Like it's just really is the camaraderie and teamwork that you learn.
All sports, man. Any sports. Put your kids in sports, man. Fail, win, lose, good, bad. It's all good. It all helps.
Just teaches it all, everything. Hard work, dedication, humility. And not that humility like LeBron James and them after they win a championship. Oh, I'm so humble. Nah, real humility is when you're good or you're bad and you get your ass beat and you have to fucking get put in check and you start coming back from nothing. Adversity, you know what I mean? That's true humility, not being humble because you're already the best player in the world and you won a damn championship. Like, I hate when players say that. I mean, yeah, technically it's what humble means, but to me it's like, no, that's not what humble means.
No, being humbled is a lot different than being humble.
Exactly.
Nice on 90, bro.
What did you play, 90? What position did you play out there? And by the way, I'm going to have an interview in the next 2 weeks with some dude who pitched at UM and in the minor leagues, which I'm really looking forward to.
Nice.
Tell me your story, Hialeah. Come on. We're on the edge of our seat.
Dude, my story isn't big. It's just my dad was an amazing baseball player in Cuba. He could never hit because he told me he told me I couldn't hit, but as a fielder he was amazing. And I just remember, you know, and I saw him play in his later years. He played in the league here when he came from Cuba, and then I used to see him in picnics, and he was fucking dude. As a shortstop, he was fucking amazing. Anyway, he just said that the minute he saw me throw, he knew I wasn't a baseball player. The minute he saw me throw, he goes, "No, it's no about that. No." And I never really played organized baseball. I played the stick ball. I played all that stuff. But to the point is, he knew by the way I threw. But it wasn't just that. After that, dude, I was always scared of that baseball. And that is no joke. And I give kudos to all the baseball players, dude. And I remember I played softball when I was older for the park. And there was a guy there that was amazing. He was a real good, his name was Albert. And dude, catching a ball from him was like, what the fuck? You know? That's a great.
Like
when you catch a ball, just catching. I'm not even talking about batting from somebody that plays.
And they throw hard.
It's a little different than just the average guy, bro. It's it's no joke, man. And people, I give props to. Yeah, baseball might be slow, all this, but their skills are on point, man.
Dude,
Dude,
man.
I tried it too, like to have a catch, like with someone, and we started trying to get up to the point to where how we used to throw, like in practice, and it gets difficult to catch. If you don't realize that when you grow up doing it, you have the skills, and your skills are it's just simple. But to the average Joe, like those simple skills that were so easy back in the day, like I'd be backhanding catches and all this, and now I'm just like, you know what I mean? Now I see a ball and it looks like it skips across instead of just me following it the whole time.
Dude, or a ball bounce in front of you.
And I have 20/20, bro. I don't wear glasses. You know what I mean? It's not like my eyesight. It's just your coordination. You know what I mean? Like
You're not the same, dude. You're not the same. It's a scary thing, dude. That ball is a projectile. That shit's a weapon, and it'll fuck you up.
Baseball fuck you up, dude. I remember playing catch with like the best guy on the team and like thinking, if I don't fucking put my glove in the right spot, this is gonna break my face.
Yeah.
My balls or whatever, dude. And it's like that ball's just it's there, dude. It's like, holy shit, especially when somebody throws hard. And catchers, bro, I give my props out to catchers, dude. They're sitting there catching those fucking in the major league level 100-mile-per-hour fastballs in some cases all game and kneeling down. That position is for a fucking man, dude. That is a man's position for sure in any sport.
Everybody gives it. The first base is no big shit, dude. A fucking first baseman, dude. That shit's coming fast, bro.
For sure. All right. Hopefully they'll get back to baseball. So I'm gonna move on to football, guys.
Let's touch. Yeah, let's do.
How about those Dolphins?
Dude, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm a little disappointed that they are forcing me to keep my season tickets. They should let people out, I think, if they want.
Credit them, do something, man. You know what I mean?
They're just
accommodate you guys.
Right now,
when the season comes out next time, when we get a full season or something, whenever that is, they should do some kind of credit. You know what I mean? Hook you all up some way.
Yeah. Dude,
like this is that time, man, when businesses can show their heart. You know what I mean? Like now, if anything, this is going to make an impact on future customers for the rest of their lives, so to speak. So, these companies that mess things, sports teams that don't handle their everyday customers right, it's going to show.
You're going to be able to look directly into every company's soul right now, dude. Comcast is one.
Dude, Lakers are taking a hit for that, like I mentioned earlier, taking, 2, 3, 4 million, whatever it was for from the small business loans.
I didn't know that, dude. I knew about Harvard and like Boston College.
They gave it back, but they only gave it back because they got caught, and I get the thing, not to get off topic, but it's free money, so to speak, bro. It's not up to, it's like applying for a scholarship. It's not totally on them. It's on the people that are actually approving them. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that are the problem.
Yeah.
Let me see, guys, because this shit impacted me this week when I saw it. The Alex Smith documentary, Project 11. Everybody saw it here?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Wow, dude. Fucking I didn't hear much about him, but like we could have very easily heard, Alex Smith passed away, and that would have been like shocking. Now we find out how grave that shit was. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, go check it out. It's pretty interesting.
I had no idea about it, and I don't think anybody had any idea about it. I think during the last season, someone made an off backhanded comment, not in a bad way, but just like a throwaway comment at the time, like talking about his surgery, another surgery. And it's like, geez, well, and you're just thinking professional doctors, it's surgery, standard, no big deal. They're not really going in depth. And then months later, here comes this documentary, and holy shit, dude, his leg was gnarly and what happened was insane. And I loved Alex Smith as a slightly above average quarterback. As a Dolphins fan with shitty quarterbacks for 20 years, I would have loved for him to come here, when people were kind of like treating him after the Colin Kaepernick and
we already had him, bro. but he was going under the name of Ryan Tannehill when he was here.
Yeah, right. So that's what it looks like. But so to see his perseverance and what he is and how he fought through this, and dude, his leg's never the same. It's deformed now. I don't think that's gonna heal like the way they said in the documentary that is, when they graft all the new muscles and stuff.
Dude, you know what would have been crazy? It wasn't just he could have this, he could have that. He could have died within days of that injury.
Right?
It's mind-boggling.
It was snap, protruded. It ended up getting an infected flesh-eating virus. Black blisters. It seemed like almost overnight. There's like after the last surgery, I think.
Dude, I can't imagine.
That looks fake, dude. That doesn't even look like.
That's a little more swollen because I think, but now that it's off and he was working out, it's still like funky like that though, bro.
I haven't found the picture of the one that they went down to the bone. Sorry, Hialeah, you were gonna say something. Go ahead, brother.
No, it's all good, man.
That thing was nasty, man. It looked like something you saw like hanging in the butcher shop. Like it literally was down to the bone, like you said. It was
like a cut of meat from the butcher shop, dude. Exactly, man. That's what it looked like.
Normally, I cringe at stuff like that, and I don't know. There was just this awe aspect when I was watching that, and there it is. After it's all off of there.
You guys remember the Matrix? Not the Matrix. Hellraiser. It almost looked like Hellraiser when he was getting back animated and all that shit.
Yep.
Dude, it's just gruesome. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it broke and it protruded through his skin, like at an angle, and they said they really have no idea how the infection happened. It was some kind of bacteria that could have been from the sweat in his jersey. It could have been dirt in the field. Something got in his thing, It could have been something from surgery too. You don't even know, but
nobody knows.
Oh my god! I think that's the picture, dude.
That's just
graphic, guys.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah,
dude, that looks like a shark attack almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. They said that like his injuries were more like a military injury. Like a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a good point. They end up going to that military facility.
Hospital. Yeah. Dude, that's his bone right there, man.
Yeah, I didn't want to show it.
That's insane.
Anybody squeamish, but that's how much. Let me just recap the story real quick. This guy, first round draft pick, played for the Niners. He ends up getting hurt. They had been into an NFC Championship game. Kaepernick
first overall pick, bro. First overall.
1 overall, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of expectations. When he finally starts playing well, he gets injured. Kaepernick takes over. He gets shipped off to Kansas City. Them drafting Mahomes really lit a fire under his ass. He had an MVP type season for them. Then he goes over to the Redskins. This injury happens to him. He has surgery. They think he starts feeling pretty good. They send him home. Then all of a sudden he gets that infection you talked about, and they have to scrape away this flesh-eating bacteria. That's how they got down to that bone to see if they could save the leg. And
I remember that, dude. That first round, they're like, we went to where we thought it was, and they realized it was higher, and they had to do
17
more
surgeries. And he wants to come back.
They said that in there with that clock countdown that it was almost a year before he walked again unassisted. I think it was like maybe a month short.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm in that Mike Tyson area with him.
Dude, nobody gives this guy credit. He was drafted number 1. And, of course, when you go number 1, you usually go to the worst team. And the whole thing is him and Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers became this. But this guy had like 4 seasons of being an all-pro. He led the league in efficiency. Not in efficiency, in completion percentage. He's had a great career, but you do go to the worst team when you get drafted number 1. And if things don't work out right, it's not going to work out.
He was like a consistent Fitzmagic dude.
His whole thing was he didn't have the deep ball. He didn't have the big plays, and he only lost his job to Kaepernick is because he got hurt, and I think he broke like something in his back, like a
No, it was a big deal. Like, and it really wasn't like that long of an injury, if I don't remember. They had already clinched the playoffs thanks to Alex Smith. He came in and played like 3 games, and then it was like, who are you going to play in the Super Bowl? And Alex Smith should have been the guy because you're not supposed to lose your spot to injury. But Kaepernick was a running quarterback, and
he was dynamic. He was a dynamic, explosive, and Alex Smith wasn't that. But dude, I gotta tell you, that game that he won in the playoffs against the Saints, where he did that the bootleg, that was one of the greatest calls I've ever seen in football. I was like stunned when they made that call. And he pulled it off. He's not a chump. He's not.
No, if Alex Smith played that Super Bowl, they would have won.
I tend to agree with you, man. He was not a fucking chump.
I'm glad he was smart, dude. He was like a poor man's Tom Brady, man. He wasn't making stupid throws. He was throwing the ball out of bounds when needed to. He was completing passes.
Yes.
He moved the ball. Like, he really was a field general.
I'll encapsulate his career in one play for you guys, for me. And I respect this guy even way more now that I saw that documentary. And I always liked him, but my main knock on him was way too conservative, dude. So you know when teams go off sides and you got a free play?
Yes.
Most quarterbacks will chuck it.
Let it rip. Yeah, he wasn't like that.
Pass interference or a bomb. Dude, I'm watching the game. He gets one of those. He throws like a 5-yard out for a completion. You know, he knows that they're offsides, and instead of, I don't know what plays we're running.
Instead of taking the gamble, yeah.
Kind of super conservative, dude. Like, he doesn't. So, yeah, Fitzpatrick, but conservative. That's basically what he is.
And and just look at the interceptions. 11, 16, 4, 12, 10. He never had double digits interceptions again in his career. He's conservative. That's the knock on him. He didn't go deep. He didn't have big plays. But dude, he was not a bad quarterback.
Who was his big play receivers though back then?
Exactly. Who was his big play receiver?
It's not like they had a Julio Jones. T.O. was already out of.
No, it was Crabtree. Crabtree was his big, and you know what? Crabtree was not that big explosive receiver. We
got rid of him down here for a reason.
He was more of a possession.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm thinking, what's his name? Ted Ginn Jr.
Well, I was looking at Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't really throw more than 10 interceptions either.
No, he doesn't. But he had the luxury of sitting for 3 years and learning.
Brett Favre, yeah.
And learning, bro.
I'll take more interceptions, man. Throw me a few. Help, take a couple.
I'm with you on that. You got to gamble. But I'm also, like I was just about to say, like you said, he sat 3 years. I am a firm believer on sitting your rookie quarterback. I mean, it's just proven fact that it works better. Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, there are flukes where it happens, but just statistically, it's just smarter. And that's why I hope the Dolphins sit Tua. I mean, why? Why even if we have an asterisk season or if we play a whole season or what? Just chill, bro. Just chill. Learn the system. And then, if anything, you get 2 years of building a cohesive offensive line to protect that hip. I don't even think the hip's a problem.
I'm totally with that.
Yeah. Give me a little Tua on week 17.
Yeah. Pepper him in there, bro. Just pepper him in there.
Dude. That's exactly what Casey did with Mahomes. He played the last game. That was it.
Yes. There's a lot of eerie similarities with Theismann and Alex Smith that I want to talk about a second.
How crazy is that?
Oh, yeah, man. I think I saw what you're about to talk about.
Maybe I can jump on a picture and just show them. Basically, they happened like on the same day also. November 18th.
Man, that's nuts.
Was it like 30 years apart? Something like 20 years apart?
The yard line was very close. Some places said exact, but it was very close to the 40-yard line. NFL Player of the Year was involved in both times. J.J. Watt,
Lawrence Taylor.
They both play the same position.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting so both quarter. It was the quarterback.
It's eerie. It's eerie how
They
Veteran
broke the same leg.
Was it the same day?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's some Twilight Zone shit, man.
Dude,
Don't ever play on
33
that
years
game.
a day, dude. That's nuts.
Those teams can never play on that day ever again.
It's crazy. Yeah, eerie. Exactly.
I'm trying to. There's a couple other things that I'm forgetting. The score was very similar in both games. Uh, it actually was the same exact score in both games, 23-21, except in Theismann's, I think he lost, and I think they won in his. Same exact. They were both 3-time defensive players of the year. Both of them were missing their left tackle. So Theismann was missing Joe Jacoby because of injury, Pro Bowl left tackle. Alex Smith was missing Pro Bowl left tackle Trent Williams because of injury.
Wow.
Which is, how you get mowed down if you don't have a good left tackle anyway.
Wow. And for the same teams, for the same Washington Redskins.
Yep.
Yeah, insane.
And the thing about Alex Smith, he had Washington in first place.
Yeah.
It's not. He was having a good year with Washington, and Washington has nobody at that time.
And
no, they had what's his name, man, and people hate on him. Kirk Cousins was killing it in Washington, bro.
Here's
Remember that? You like that?
My beef with Cousins is he doesn't win the big game, dude. Like the primetime game or the big game or teams with winning records, he was just not good against, man. He has a terrible record. But
I think you're right, man. I think maybe that's because like the franchise and stuff never just got behind him. They were always he kept proving himself, and then they kept like, screw it.
I think the contract is what put it in that perspective. It's like the ownership didn't give him the confidence.
Franchise tag 3 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. They never.
He got paid, bro. Don't get me wrong. He got paid.
But they didn't commit to him.
Yep.
Where's this comment coming out of? Because I think we may be in the Matrix, but I don't know.
Because of all this crazy stuff, similarities.
Yeah, with the similarities.
I got you. They reran the same program. They just quarterbacks.
The glitch. The black cat walked by twice.
Yeah. I think what happened with Cousins and the Redskins is they had gotten burned so many times with free agents and signings. They said, not this time. And he wanted so much money that they said no.
I don't know why I went away from Gruden. Gruden was good for them.
I think so too. If they would have played Cousins from the start, I think it would have been fine.
Is he fired already?
Yeah, he's gone. It's the guy that he was at Carolina is their coach now. I forget
Rivera.
Rivera.
Okay. Yeah, no, man. I wasn't a big fan of Gruden, to be honest, man. I thought
I like him, dude. I don't think he was bad.
He turned the Redskins around. You know?
I don't think he was a bad coach.
The Robert Griffin thing didn't work out. I guess would you say?
I don't even know if that was him who did it. Was that one? But they were stupid, and that's like precedent now for all these trades. Like when the Dolphins were in the draft this year, like, well, if they want Joe Burrows, they got to give up all 3 of these because the Redskins gave up 3 first-round picks for RG3, and I'm like, dude, context, guys. Those picks were garbage in the back of the first round. We're dealing with a 5th-round pick here, guys. You know what I mean?
No,
that's worth money.
But the thing to the Redskins, they gave the farm to get Griffin. Okay.
Yeah, who became nothing. Yeah, that was to continue my point. Like, so why would you ever pay 3 first-rounders for a first-round pick ever again?
It's not just that. They took him at number 2. They gave up all these fucking picks. And then with the 4th pick, you take another fucking quarterback?
Yeah.
That makes sense, bro.
I like it, though. I think you should be drafting quarterbacks.
I wanted us to take Love. All right, if Tua doesn't pan out, we got Love, and then they traded back, and Sure. I think I commented on one of your Instagram posts that we could have just gotten the other guys and got Love back there instead of Tua.
Yeah, I like that guy Simmons. Is it Simmons?
J.K. Simmons? No,
the guy Arizona got, linebacker. He plays all over the field, actually.
Oh, Pete.
from Clemson.
Yeah, what's that guy's name, bro?
Clemson, right?
Yeah, the linebacker.
Off track. Dude, I read somewhere the Raiders is like the hottest ticket in the league, but nobody's gonna go to games, I don't think, this year. But like on the secondary market, those tickets are like the top, and the
Crazy money.
Buccaneers have raised the most percentage wise, and the Patriots have dropped the most
Of
percentage
course,
wise.
they got to pay Tom's money, man. They got to pay his salary.
Or they don't, or nobody wants to go watch the Patriots now, maybe.
But Raiders seems definitely, dude. It's Vegas, man. I mean, it's the sexy show, man. I mean,
Dude,
the new hot
go to a
ticket.
Raider game and then you freaking hang out the rest of the weekend, bro.
You gotta produce now, but if they don't, it's still like you said. All right, they suck. Let's just get out of here at halftime and go gamble. You know.
Exactly. It's party town.
I think they're going to be like the Dolphins, though, man. The Dolphins have a lot of people that come to root for other teams.
Big time. It's embarrassing, dude. I'm out there and like.
Well, not every other place is a tourist community, so people move here and travel here, dude. I've met people at games from London. They're like, we're in town for 2 days, and I'm like, really? And you just decided to come to a football game? They're like, yeah, like
I get it, man. Like. Do you want to go to Miami and we can watch a football game, our favorite team in town? Let's make a weekend out of it, dude. We'll go watch our hometown team and go to Miami. So yeah.
Yeah, living here, you kind of don't get a sense of that because we live here. But honestly, when's the last time you went to South Beach? You know?
But not even just travelers, guys. Like, think about how many people move here, retire here, come here from other states, and make this place their home. You know. So they grew up watching the Packers or grew up watching the Saints or the Cowboys, you know.
Well, when the Jets play here, it's almost like a home game. You know how many New Yorkers?
Yeah, Northeast, New Jersey, New York. Yeah.
Look at these knuckleheads, dude. These dudes are, I think one of them is making like $1 million. The other one, like 7 million. They get warrants out, and I think they've turned themselves in.
Dude, this is insane.
They're bringing new meaning to the term lockdown corner here. $70 gambling debt in high stakes card games. Somebody pulled out a gun at a cookout, and all hell broke.
That was right here in Miramar, man. Baker was the #1 pick of the Giants last year. It's like, come on, dude, really? And dude, what we were saying about Michael Jordan leaving when he saw the shit going down, look at these guys. It's a complete polar opposite.
It was a poker game, right?
Yeah, cards.
Jacked the people, the money, and dipped out with a getaway driver and a Lamborghini.
It was a Lamborghini and like 2 other freaking high-priced cars, dude. It was great.
Not really, you know, it's not hard to trace those cars. You know, so I mean, if you're gonna do that, try to get something that you can ditch and catch on fire. Something that's not gonna draw attention to you. I mean, don't you watch movies?
Something you could ditch in a canal.
Don't you watch like NCIS or just any action movie like thrillers where they do a heist and then they catch it on fire and walk away from it? Like,
stupidity never ceases to amaze me with these things.
No,
how about the James Harrison thing? You guys heard about James Harrison?
Yeah.
No, but 90 said something about Cody Latimer was just arrested.
Yeah, I put that up earlier. Some type of
firearm discharge.
I thought it was some type of
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah. Let me see what that Cody Latimer thing is. That's for the Redskins, right?
Yeah, it says assault, illegal discharge of a firearm.
Oh, there you go. You're right.
$25,000 bond. That's chump change.
That's nothing, bro.
I mean, I figure, you know, for a firearm crime, you know what I mean? At least be $100K. You know, if it's involving a gun.
He looks in the mugshot like he's saying $25K. That ain't nothing, dude.
Yeah, right. He's already chilling at home.
So I wanted to talk about this Harrison thing real quick. So basically, this dude was on a podcast. James Harrison had some great games, great years for the Steelers. Big Super Bowl win with them, and he says he got an envelope after Muhammad Massaquoi. I hope I said that right. It's fun to say Muhammad Massaquoi, and then people start talking, Bounty Gate, like New Orleans and all this shit. Here's my only thing that I have. I sometimes just look at shit. I try not to read too many stories, and I haven't read too many stories about him, and just think about what I know. What I know, he unceremoniously left the Steelers at the end of his career and ended up being a New England Patriot. You guys remember that?
Yes, of course.
So I'm thinking maybe this dude has beef with them, bro, and he was just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna tell a story.
You know what? What makes me think that same way is Mike Tomlin gave me the envelope.
Naming names.
Exactly. I don't see Mike Tomlin doing that for some reason.
No, especially with his credibility and like how he just went to bat for the quarterback against Myles Garrett over that controversial thing. Like,
I don't see him doing that, dude. I'm sorry.
If he was shady, he would have just took the side of what's his name, Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? He would have. That's the way I feel.
I like Mike Tomlin.
He's always been a stand-up character from what and I'm not even a Steelers fan.
Me neither, but totally. He's been stand-up, and I don't.
But what year was this, man? Was it illegal yet for bounties, or did this happened before the Saints, got caught?
I mean, I don't think that's ever probably really been like legal to get like extra money for taking somebody out. I don't know. It's weird, dude.
Well, I think it really it was a gray area, like you said, but I think it really became illegal to do after the whole Saints debacle. So if it was before the Saints debacle, like if we're talking about ethics and stuff, who cares? Does it suck that you're throwing people under the bus? Hell yeah, you keep things in house, bro. You don't need to be talking about that or trying to air dirty laundry. It's
weird. You can only be trying to make them look bad, dude. That's the only thing it comes across as.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, but you're naive in thinking that New Orleans was the first team to ever do that, and I'm sure it's been.
I'm just talking about from a legal standpoint. If you want to argue it in court or something, okay, when did it officially become illegal? This date, after this time, after the New Orleans Saints. So if this happened before that time, then there's no case. There's nothing to even talk about anymore.
What?
It's now illegal. Guess what? Slavery used to be legal. We learned it's bad, and we don't do it anymore. Bounty hits used to be legal. We learned it's bad. We don't do it anymore. You move forward.
It's almost going back to the baseball unwritten rules kind of thing. It was, and it probably wasn't written for years until New Orleans, and now you know what? Now you can't do it. But
they've been doing it since college. What do you think boosters do after a game, bro? Nice hit, player. Here's a couple $100.
Of course. It's not the worst hit I've ever seen. I'm going to tell you that.
The worst hit I remember seeing was
2011, apparently, or at least the videos from 2011.
Remember Anquan Bolden when he got hit when he was on the Cardinals? And
bro, he got his face got shattered.
He got murdered, man. I honestly was seeing that thing full speed. I honestly thought he died. I'm not even exaggerating. Like
it was in the end zone, right? It was in the end zone.
Yep, he was in the air, end zone. Busted him in the face, the way he kind of flipped sideways, lifeless, and fell and hit the ground. I was like, dude, he's done. I'm like, we literally just watched someone.
Joe Flacco, Kiko Alonso.
When he was diving?
Yeah, and he just went like this. I don't know why he raised his hand. He just raised his hand. Yeah. That was brutal, dude. All right, this one, I kind of got a problem with this next one. The NFL is proposing higher draft picks for teams that hire minorities. Now, I'm in favor of hiring aliens, dude, if they can win extra baseball games for me. Purple, pink, blue. I mean, I'll do anything, as a Dolphin fan. I'll hire anybody. But I don't, dude, how about we just hire the best people regardless of what they are? It's almost like a cheat code. Here, dude, we're gonna give you a higher pick if you go hire a minority,
I'm with you, man. It just incentivizes this, without getting political, the SJW culture that, just that everyone is a minority and that, we're in America, bro. I mean, I'm all for it. If you find someone, we know that we make people become American citizens if we want them on our Olympic team or something. So if they want to come over here, we did it for Yvonne. We did it for El Duque. We've done it for other people. Come over here, be an American citizen, contribute to the economy, make your family better, make a better life by all means. But to incentivize people to hire, I mean, like you said, I want the best people for the job. I'm not completely sold on affirmative action. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what that is. You're forcing people to hire people that are less qualified just to fit a quota. It's kind of like some fraternities where they had quotas to fill. They needed certain people of certain demographics to be in there. Just give me the best people for the job. That's all. If it's a woman, if it's a trans guy, I don't care, man. If they can throw you a bomb or fucking hit you a home run, I don't care, bro. If they can compete on that top level, it doesn't matter what they are. So I shouldn't get a huge tax break or 3 extra draft picks because I picked up the first black trans woman in the NFL. That's just ridiculous.
Can she get me a Super Bowl?
Right? That's all I care about.
I'm in agreement, dude. You well said, Bake. I'm in total agreement. That's freaking extra draft picks because of who you hire. No, I'm sorry.
From what I understand, I kind of perused the article. I mean, the Dolphins stand to benefit as one of the better teams to get more draft picks. And I'm saying this as a Dolphins fan. You know what I mean? But it's just not fair. It's not right.
And how does that work? If you already have a minority, does your draft pick get better? Or is it only when you hire a new minority? It's just, it's stupid, man. I don't know. Just hire the best people. I'm sure teams, do we have a problem with teams wanting to win? Is there that many racist owners, you think, that won't hire a minority if they think that they can win?
Right? I don't think they are.
But you're naive if you say that there aren't.
There may be. You're right.
I'm not saying there ain't racist owners. That's a topic for another day. But at that point, at that level, they're looking at these people below them as workhorses. So they don't care what color they are because they're making them money. Exactly. So it doesn't, you know what I mean? Even if they are racist to an extent, they're so racist that they're looking at you so low that they don't care about what your color is. They look at you as the help. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. There probably should be more based on just numbers. When you just look at numbers, X amount of X players are these type of minorities, X amount of coaches, so.
This is crazy, man, because the guy was spitting out these facts, and I watched this TD guy for the Miami Dolphins every now and then, and this guy was spitting shit in the facts. It was pissing me off because he was bringing race into shit that doesn't need to be into it. He was just kind of trying to gaslight it, and he's like, what do you think about in basketball and football that the majority of players, there's 60% black and 30% Dominican or whatever. Like, we make up the majorities of these leagues. And it's like, okay, cool. So why do you need to be incentivized to hire a minority when minorities already technically make up the majority of the league? You know what I mean? Like, also, we're all American citizens, bro. And controversial topic, minorities are out the door, bro. There are no minorities anymore, bro. I'm just being honest. Like, everyone, you want to know, like, new minorities, like the countries that you can't even pronounce or never heard of, those ones that are just now getting a chance to get in here.
White people becoming a minority almost in this.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go that far, but I'm just saying everything's almost like leveled out.
Yeah.
Where we truly are a melting pot.
We are.
I just it was one. Damn, I don't want to end on that because I'm not.
No, we're not ending on a down note, though. It's been a great conversation, man. This has been awesome.
I thought it was a dumb way to do that. You know, I don't know.
All right, man. I mean, it's a lot of people think that's a topic that needs to be addressed, you know, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal, dude. And why bring it into sports? And I'm not even trying to bring that argument to where
let's end it on this. Do you guys believe the NFL season will start on time? Or will we have an abbreviated season? Like let's say a 14-game season. The Super Bowl being in mid-February, you know, moving back. How do you guys see that? Because, you know, my wife works for the school board, and we've been having this discussion. Are the kids going to be back in school in September, or are they still going to be at home? And we've had that conversation. Do you guys think the NFL will start first, second week of September like it usually does, go 16 weeks? Are we going to have a full 4-game preseason? Is it going to be abbreviated to two games, maybe 2 preseason, cut the league down to the season to 14? What do you guys think?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll have a season.
You don't think we're going to have a season at all?
No, man, and I really hope we do. I hope that I'm wrong, so don't. But the way things are, in a nutshell, the way the media is, the way people are scared, the way things are, the way you're talking about baseball players wanting more money and you know, how people are scared of dying. Unless something crazy changes in the news to give people some more security, they're not going to want to go to games and be in huge crowds, and the players are going to be prima donnas and not want to go and have a chance of getting infected and then mess with their money in the long run. You know, I just don't see it happening.
What about you, Randy?
I think they're going to play, man, because not with people, though, because dude, there's too much money on the line. People are going to be home more. We're going to be watching more TV, more home stuff. I don't know. We're going to be doing more shit at home, and I think sports is a big part of it. I think they're going to find a way to have that season without fans. It's going to be different for sure, but I don't know, man. It's hard for these people to give up that money, dude. They're used to it.
Dude, I hope you're right. Like I said, I hope you're right. I'm just like,
Me too.
I don't know shit. I'm just
the way the news is and the way people are so scared, you know, and just the way you touched on the baseball players and how, you know, prima donna-esque they're acting there.
Okay. What about this? We're watching Korean baseball, no fans.
What about you? What do you think?
I think it's going to be abbreviated. The big question, I think it'll be maybe a 2-game preseason, maybe a 14-game season. My big issue is it's not a big issue. It's just I can't really imagine this. But there's a lot of stuff that's happening that I would never even imagine. But we're watching the Korean games, no fans. We just watched UFC.
Did you see the cutouts they have?
The what?
They have like cutouts of fans in the
it's ridiculous. but we just saw UFC, no fans. I can't imagine NFL, no fans. I just don't. I just can't fathom that. And it kind of looked like that's an option going forward, and I just can't imagine it.
I hear you, bro. Football more than anything. If you want to see what a baseball game looks like without fans, look up Baltimore Orioles playing in front of no fans. They had to do it like 4 years ago for some reason. I don't remember why. And they played a whole game with no fans in the team.
Remember that?
Yeah, it'll give you a little sneak preview of what baseball may be like. But football, maybe they need to pump in some crowd noise, dude. I don't know.
Bro,
Seattle Seahawks already do that, right?
A topic we haven't even hit, college football. Should they play those games when the students aren't even allowed on campus?
No, bro. No. That one I'm hard.
Me too. I am in total agreement. How do you make these guys play? They're not getting paid, and you're not even letting students on campus?
That's it. They're not getting paid. They have the NCAA. that's like my public enemy number one, dude. They have made enough money. These kids don't need to go risk
I
anything.
feel like they would strong arm them, man. Like the ones that have a chance to go to the NFL and stuff. That, well, this is your chance. You know, if you don't play, then they're not going to see you, and do all that shit.
But how do you hold that against those players?
You can't.
You can't.
No.
You can't.
They're gonna have to get judged on their previous.
Yeah, what about that Clemson quarterback that was supposed to go number one? That
He'll probably still go number one. He'll probably still be number one.
If anything,
increase his odds of being number one instead of having a shitty season where.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is nobody's fault. Nobody's doing this on purpose. It's just something that we're living. You can't blame anybody for that. It's just okay. All the high school seniors that, dude, I know people that are graduating this year. It's not their fault that this is happening to them. It's just, you know what? It's just life, and it's just something that's happened, and we've all had to deal with shit in our lives, and this is just something you guys are dealing in. It sucks. It's a raw deal, but you know what? People have been going through raw deals since man started.
Yeah.
So
this isn't even the rawest of the deal. So just like chill out because you didn't get a prom or you didn't get to walk with your cap or gown.
It sucks, bro. I feel bad for you.
We talked about it before. I was like, dude, how many people graduate community college or are single parents and graduate college online? Do they get to go walk? Do they get their cap and gown, or they just get a diploma mailed to them? Like, suck it up, Buttercup. Come on.
Suck it up, Buttercup. Perfect.
For real. Yeah. Suck it up, but NCAA.
I feel for you. I'm not brushing off that you don't matter, but in the grand scheme of things, suck it up.
Suck it up, dude. Suck it up.
The players in college, fuck that, dude. They don't need to go play. Nobody. You know what? They shouldn't play.
I feel like if they really wanted to, dude, they could eliminate the NCAA. Like the NCAA needs all of those athletes more than the other way around. You know what I mean? If every athlete of every sport literally just said, "Screw you, we're branching off and starting our own thing," what's the NCAA going to do if they're not? We don't need you anymore.
Look at baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have college baseball, but baseball. You could get rid of college baseball tomorrow, and there's a system in place to absorb all those players right now.
Yeah. They got 4 different divisions that they can actually play in before they even hit the pros.
Yeah, it'll be fine, dude.
Rookie ball, single A, high A, double A.
There's a great movie on Netflix. It's a documentary movie with Kurt Russell's dad, and Kurt Russell played baseball for like a city league before the Major League Baseball players absorbed and made minor league baseball. Like there was farm teams. It's a really good documentary. It's on Netflix. I forget what it's called.
Did you mention that in the chat one day?
Maybe.
Because I had somebody mentioned it and I was like, shit, I didn't even fucking know that. I hadn't heard about that.
I had nothing about. I stumbled across it, and the guy wanted to be an actor, moved out to Hollywood, became a famous actor in the 40s and shit, and then had a farm team. And then halfway through, you're like, oh shit, his kid is Kurt Russell. You're like, oh, and Kurt Russell played second base. It was good. It's a good one, man. I'll try to look it up if you can. I know I'm not giving you much to go on.
Oh yeah, Kurt Russell doc. I'm gonna look it up. I love it.
Just look up Kurt Russell and you'll be able to find that.
So Bake the Snake, they can check out your YouTube channel, which is comic centric. Just name right there.
Yeah, man. Basically comic books and that sort of thing, auctions for pop culture type stuff, but trying to branch out more and do more sports and stuff. So thanks for having me on here and talking about that.
Yeah, it was badass.
I see your pop collection. I got some pops myself, but mostly comic books.
All over the fucking place. We're going to have to watch a game or a fight one day here when all this shit ends. So check them out. Bake the Snake. That's the name. YouTube or IG, whatever. Thanks for coming, brother. It was
thanks for having me, man. This has been a blast. If you need me to come on again, just holler, dude.
Yeah, dude, I've been leaning on sports more, so you know it was fun, dude. We'll do it again. And I know you're a Dolphin fan, so like maybe we'll do some kind of Dolphin shit when the season comes up or something. Who knows?
Yeah, try to get together and go to a game.
Oh, that'll be a blast.
And my brother down here who joins me a lot, Hialeah Comic Bro. Check out his channel. Sub these guys up. Hialeah Comic Bro is the name of the channel. They're every week they do a show, interview somebody, and then a lot of other comic related things.
Yeah.
Any parting thoughts you guys have before we go? We've been on like over 2 hours.
It's a good show, man. I didn't even realize it. We were just having a blast chatting it up, but
Past Raul's bedtime.
man, I cannot wait
You
for
know what
sports.
you feel like, Big, right? It's something besides comics and
Yeah.
sports, and it's just I love coming on with Randy because it's just different topics and different things that we are in we're involved in.
I love sports, man. My first collecting was sports cards. You
Of
know
course,
what I mean?
man. Everybody's was, dude. Sports cards for sure.
Let me show you something real quick.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank Randy. It's always a good time hanging out with him, man. And yeah, we gotta hang out, dude. You guys are basically like probably half an hour away. You guys are super close next to each other.
Yeah, we'll do like a fight or something, man. One day.
Yeah, totally.
To collecting these lately.
Make yourself
Oh,
big. Make yourself big, Randy. Oh my goodness, what is that, dude?
How do I do?
They're the old school, baseball cards, man.
The tobacco cards, bro.
Oh my goodness.
These are like
And the
100 years old. I mean, none of these are uber valuable.
Yeah, you don't got a Honus Wagner on there.
No,
but
dude.
it's a piece of history, man.
But Honus Wagner's from that set.
That's still amazing, man. Thanks for having us,
Like,
Randy.
The T206 cards is what they're called. Let me see if I can play my music. And if it plays, thank you, guys.
Thank you, man.
Is it gonna play?